Welcome, welcome everyone to the Learning Tube. This is Ava, and we are back with another short and spicy Learning Tube session. Here you see me in the Facebook group. Get in this group. This group is as active as you make it. It's free to join. Be in the group, be active. All the replays are posted here in the group. So here in the guide section, Deidre, drop that link if anyone wants to join the group. In the guide section, we have all the past replays so that you can check them out. All the replays for this year are here in the group. So make sure that you join the group and be active, check out the replays and so on. And we have content that we post in the group as well. Now, I'm going to just jump into what today's session is all about. Now, first of all, how many persons were at the Healthcare AI Summit that we had last week? We had a 2-day summit, Thursday and Friday, and it was amazing or amazing, however you want to say it. So we have the replays available for anybody that did not get to attend the summit live, so you can upgrade and get the replays. Deidre, and drop that link. And in that summit, people asked about a particular tool that was shown by several of our presenters. So we said, here what? A lot of people are showing interest in this tool. Let's just do a short tutorial, how to use it and what it's all about. So who knows what tool was used that amazed some persons? I mean, there are so many tools that amazed people, but oh my gosh, there were so many amazing tools. But this particular one, if my memory serves me right, I think 2 presenters showed this particular tool and how it can be used to help you organize your data, interact with your data to get more from it. So that's what we're going to be looking on for today. So Deidre, drop the link, Healthcare AI Summit, for those who did not get to attend live, and you can get the recordings here. You see on the page, recordings are ready and you can read and go through all this good stuff. Amazing speakers that we had on this Healthcare AI Summit. So you can grab the replay if you were not able to attend live. Good stuff, guys, good stuff. And it's for everybody, whether you're in the healthcare industry or just are concerned about knowing how you can do better with your health. All right, so be clear, be sure to get that if you have not done so already. So I got a lot of ready for those who are ready for today's presentation. But I don't see who said, who knows what tool I'm going to be looking on today. Some persons looked at it in the summit. Yes, do you know what tool? If you don't know, here it is. We're looking on Google's NotebookLM. Who has ever heard about this tool? I'm sure you've seen people using it. Maybe some of you have started to use it. So this is just a refresher for you, or just letting you appreciate it even more than you have already. I see, Joanne, you said you learned about it this week. It's been about for a long time now, from last year, yeah, but they've added a new feature in the past few weeks or maybe a month now or more, and it's just driving people crazy with how amazing this particular tool is. So we're gonna jump into what Google's Notebook LM is all about. If you've been on any other Learning Tube session with me as the host, you know I love Google products. Where are my Google users? Google users, you know I'm always doing content concerning Google. So you know I'm a Google lover. So of course, I'm going to love Google's Notebook LM. Thanks, Michelle. Yes, I'm the queen of Google. We have a lot of queens here on this team. All right, so we're going to look at Notebook LM. And this is all about a starter guide. So we're not going to be like going crazy with it, but enough for you to play around in it and have some fun. All right, so you see here, it represents a significant advancement in integrating artificial intelligence with productivity tools. We know we're all about AI here, and you can leverage cutting edge language and modeling technologies, and it aims for you to be able to create, organize, and interact with your notes and documents. So basically, it's a way to interact with your information in a more meaningful, intimate way and more creative way to go through your data. And it's good because it's your data that you're adding, as well as any other information that you want to add and get answers from. So it offers a suite of features designed to make information management smarter and more intuitive. That's what it's all about here. Right, so what exactly is it? Cloud-based note-taking. So you're going to see how it works shortly. So cloud-based note-taking, and it allows you to create, access, and sync your notes from any device, because all you need to do to access this is a Google account. So once you have your Gmail email address and password, you can access it. And right now it's for free. We love free, free. We don't know how long it's going to be free, but right now test it out while it still is free. And you have multimedia integration. So it allows you to upload quite a good amount of content, whether it's text, images, links, audio recordings of your notes. So you get a multimodal experience. And of course, organization. You get to organize your notes in a customizable notebook way. Notebooks are like folders, you're going to see soon. And it allows you to effortlessly retrieve and be able to collaborate as well. And of course, we love to be able to do that. So what are the benefits? Obviously, you're going to be more productive. You have the collaborative capabilities, just like how you can share with other Google products. You're able to share and collaborate with others in real time too. Access anywhere, any device, your tablet, your mobile, your desktop. Once you are able to sign into this application, you're able to access. And of course, it allows you to have the integration of other Google services as well. All right. So I saw some person say they know about it, they're used to using it. Give me a G. Which ones are new? Which ones use it? Just want to know everyone who's using this particular tool. Give me a G in the chat. Give me a G. Give me a okay. All right. So we see some people putting in that they are new. All right, good. Okay. New. I love it when you're new because it's fresh. And even people who know how to use it already, it's just a way to get a refresher course. So first of all, you're going to sign up if you don't have a Gmail account. Who doesn't have a Gmail email account? I don't think there's anybody that, please don't tell me there's anybody that does not have a Gmail email account. You should actually have several email accounts, and Gmail has to be one of them. And you can download an app and, of course, explore the features. Now, Deidre, drop that link for me in the chat. So this is the link that you go to access this particular tool. Let me head on over there. It's called NotebookLM.Google, NotebookLM.Google. And this is where you go to see and start using NotebookLM. Now, as I said, it's a Google product. So once you have a Gmail email address and password, you're able to easily use this product. So think smarter, not harder. I'm sure you've heard this before. Think smarter, not harder. Who wants to think hard? We want to be able to get things done and not, of course, bust our brains getting it done. Obviously, sometimes some things take that, but if we can avoid that, all the better. So it's the ultimate tool for understanding information that matters most to you. And they're using Google's Gemini 1.5 to give answers and interact with the material that you upload. So before we try it, we're going to just look on some of the things. So it's your personalized AI research assistant. You can upload sources. We're going to soon talk about what sources are. And it says PDFs, website, YouTube link videos, audio files, Google Docs. So your Google Docs, your Google Suite, your slides, your docs, your sheets, you can use to upload those. Well, I'm not sure about sheets. No, definitely for docs. And you can ask it to summarize and make interesting connections between topics. So we're going to be looking on all of that. So you see here, they give you a visual example of what's going on here. Can you summarize whatever? And you see it working right there. So you can also have instant insight. So with all your sources in place, NotebookLM gets to work and becomes a personalized AI expert in information that matters most to you. And they give you a visual that's going on here. And you can see the source, not just the answer. So gain confidence in every response because NotebookLM provides clear citations for its work, showing you the exact quotes from your sources. So I love that they give you a little visualization of the different things that they're talking about. And of course, listen and learn on the go. This is the feature that everybody loves. It's allows you to have an audio overview feature, and you can turn your sources into an engaging deep dive discussion with one click. So that's what's going to amaze everybody, and has been amazing people that know about that so far. So they're just letting you know that they value your privacy, and they're not using any of the content that you upload to train NotebookLM. And of course, they're talking about how people use it. So you can use it for studying, organizing your thinking, spark new ideas. There's so many ways that you can use NotebookLM, and we're going to talk about some of them soon. And then, of course, they're telling what people think about it and all that good stuff. My gosh. I have to give you a quick overview of it before we jump in and see how it actually works. Now, before we even start using it, I wanted to be able to understand certain terminology, because I'm sure you heard me talk about sources and things like that. Now, your source, that's what it refers to it as. Anything that you upload is your source. So your document, your slide, your Google slide, or your doc, or your audio, your typed notes like text, you can actually use text and so on. Your PDF files, these are your sources. And it's a text that is copied and pasted directly into the app at the time and it's uploaded. So using NotebookLM, the model will allow you to use sources to upload to answer your questions or complete your request. So you have to give it the data. And the great thing is that it doesn't hallucinate. It's using the information that you have given to it. It's not going live to the web to get answers. It's getting it straight from sources that you have pre-approved for it to use. So that's a great thing about it. No hallucination around here. We know that sometimes some of these chat models have a tendency to make things up. So it's getting the information straight from your source. Notebook. So notebook is like a folder. It allows you to be organized with your projects. So you can have these different notebooks that have their own sources in it. So that really helps with organization and certain things that you want to have separate. So each notebook is totally separate, and it cannot access information from multiple notebooks at the same time. So it's like a separate area, like a niche. So if you're interested in a particular topic, you can have a notebook about that. And we're going to talk about that soon. And citation is another term that you're going to be hearing about. It's a specific block of text or image quoted from your source document that is considered relevant to your question and can be used by NotebookLM to build the response for you. All right. So yes, Janine, of course we're gonna do a demo. I just wanted to get a feeling of the terms before we jump in. Of course, I know you're excited. I know you're excited. Give me an E, guys. Who's excited? Who else is excited? Obviously, you guys are excited because I mean, Janine was saying, can we get a demo? Yes, of course, Janine, you can get a demo, and we're jumping straight into it. So once you are ready to use NotebookLM, you do try NotebookLM, and then it asks you to sign in. So once you sign in, it's going to take you here and ask you to create your first notebook. So it tells you again, it's an AI-powered research and writing assistant that works best with sources that you upload. So here where it says create, this will allow you to start doing your notebook, but it's going to be telling you some of the things again. Upload your documents, get detailed answers, complex, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go through all of that. So before you click create to start your own notebook, if you want to get an idea of what it looks like on the inside, they allow you to try a sample notebook. So when you click try a sample notebook, it takes you into this and you say, oh my God, what is this? It looks so confusing. But this is what it actually will look like when we're done with our actual example. So here on the left, you have your different sources. You can check all sources by clicking this option here, or you can click on the source or sources that you want to interact with. So you can check and uncheck accordingly. Here, you can type messages and interact with the particular source. So when you click on view chat, you're able to type and ask the source questions. Notice that here it says one source because I only have one checked. If I checked all of them, it says 8 sources. So I can ask questions of all of these sources at the same time, or I can choose a particular source that I want to ask a question. They also give us some pre-typed questions that we may want to ask. Now, it so happens that this particular notebook that they've created for us to test or try out, it's all about Notebook LM. So you see, it says explain how to use Notebook LM as a guide to explore a collection of all these things, describe the process of all of that. So you see that they have some pre-typed questions here that you can test out. So if you ask for it to give me a summary of all sources, right? So when you type that, it's going to go through, read through everything here and give you the result that it got based on it searching through everything that you have there. And also you could have used one of these pre-typed things. Now you see here it goes up the top saying Notebook LM is an AI-powered note-taking tool developed by Google. Notebook LM allows users, so all of this, it got from all the sources. So remember, source, we gave it a definition for that. And each of these now, these are the citations. So when you hover over each one, it showed you where it got the information from, or if you click on it, it takes you straight to where it got the information from. It highlights a little part here that gives you that particular info. So it's great with allowing you to be able to source or find out what document gave you what information. So in other words, the sources are ones that, so the sources, yes, are what you upload. So whether it's a Google Doc, slides, a PDF file, audio, website link, YouTube link, and all of those things. That's your source. All right. And you can close the chat if you're finished and so on. Now, notebook guide is what we're going to explore soon. In this area, you can see a summary of whatever site source that you have clicked on, and you have suggested questions here as well. And we're going to be looking on some other things that it has here. These are your notes. So whatever note you save, you will see them listed just like this. All right, so let's dive in and look on how it looks like for our own purposes so that we can get a feel of how to use it itself. All right, so I know that you're saying, oh my gosh, why doesn't she just jump in? I just wanted to give you just a brief overview so that you can see some of the things for yourself, okay? So Joan, you said just knew about it this week, all right? So creating our own notebook. So you go to create and it takes you to an area that asks you to add your sources. So it would be good if you have your sources ready to add. Remember, your sources can be a multitude of and a variety of different kinds of files. So you can have PDF, YouTube link, website link, audio, all in one, or a document or text that you paste. You can do that all at once. All about what you want. So it says sources, let Notebook LM base its responses on the information that matters to you most. Can it read scanned handwritten documents? It depends, Adrian, it depends. You know that sometimes those scanned documents may not be of the best quality, but you can test and see. It will tell you whether the document is readable or not if you try to upload it, all right? So it depends on how good a scan it is. So you see here, it allows you to use your Google Drive. So if you wanted to upload a doc, you just click on Docs, and it's going to take you to the Google Drive that's linked to your Notebook LM, and you can click and add the doc that you want, and it will add it accordingly. Same thing for, let me go back here. If you come out of that area accidentally, you can click the plus here and go back to add your source. So you can add multiple sources. Here you can add a website link, YouTube link, and any copied text. There's a limit of 50. So 50 is the number that you can add for sources. So if you can't exceed the number 50 when you're adding your variety of sources. So as I said, it helps you to keep organized. So depending on what you want to interact with, you decide what info you're going to upload. So for this example, we love tools. I have an area here where I have some links that are related to productivity tools. So I want to have a notebook all about productivity tools. And this particular notebook is going to be a mixture of some YouTube video links and a blog, a website blog. So what I would do, I'll copy the first links. I have prepared them here for you. I'm going to go back to my notebook and I'm going to come here and go to YouTube. And when I click right here, when it says paste URL, I'm going to paste it. Remember, the URL has to have the HTTPS and all this part in the front for it to register as a link. Now notice that it says only the text transcript will be imported at this moment. Only public YouTube videos are supported. And it says until recently, recently uploaded videos may not be available to import. So people who have uploaded videos, in a short space of time, you can't use those. And it says that if upload fails, learn more for common reasons. So there may be times when it will not accept your YouTube video link, but guess what? There's another option. Who knew that you could download the audio from YouTube? Did you know that you can download the YouTube audio? Who knew you can download the YouTube audio? So what I'm going to show you is an alternative, and it's called Y2Mate. You see the link in the chat. It allows you to download YouTube audio. So I'm just going to show you what happens. So I'm going to just take this YouTube link. All you need is a YouTube link to be able to download the audio. Nita, we're all about free. So yes, you have paid services for downloading YouTube videos and audio and all that good stuff, but you have free things too. So let's say I want to use this YouTube link, but it's not allowing me to do so. I'm able to just paste that link here. So Dejan just dropped the link for YouTube audio, and they're just gonna go to, I want an MP3 or MP4. So this one does allow video and audio, but I want MP3, so I leave it on that. And I go to convert, and it's going to be reading, and initializing. Yes, I love free. I'm all about free. I'm going to always find free ways to get things. So I love tools, and I love free tools especially. And sometimes we find free ways around the paid tools. Always try to find ways around it if possible. No, obviously, sometimes you have to upgrade. We know that. But to start off, if you're able to get certain things done for free, that's always best. So you see, it did its thing, and it's going to allow us to download. And it has now downloaded an audio, which I can now upload. All right. So let's come back here. And I'm going to go back to my add source. Come here, choose a file. And now I'm looking for that audio file. All right, and the audio is gonna go in. So what it does, it actually is creating a transcript for the audio. So even though it's an audio file, it's gonna look like some sort of doc because it's getting a transcript from it. All right, so that's why it does that. And I have my other links that I'm going to upload as well. So I have my other YouTube link here. You just have your different sources that you're going to upload and have them ready. So you see it was reading, and now it looks like an audio file. That's the audio file icon. Just dropping in my other one. All right, drop it in. Insert. Is there a limit for the YouTube transcript? Are you saying based on the length of it? Not that I know of. Are you saying how long the YouTube video is? I don't know the max, but guess what? Put it in, and if it takes it, you're good. Remember, you have so many variety. They're not going to necessarily look at that. They're giving you the limits for your the NotebookLM itself, but they may not give you the limit for different ones. I know that for PDF, I think I remember seeing it says 100 megabytes for the PDF file, but I'm not sure how up to date that is, but you know that. Try it, and if it does not work, then you say, oh, I can't use that, right? So let me go to the other one. Now, this is a blog. I'm coming back here, and this one now I can't use. I'm adding the other source. So I can't use YouTube link. It's a website. And remember, you have to have the HTTPS part in it, or else it will not work. So I've added, how many sources have I added? How many sources do I have? I've added, how many? 4 sources. All right, 4. Don't look on the checkbox. This top checkbox is checking all of them. So if you want to interact with all of your sources at once, you click this. If you only want to interact with one at a time or whatever, you click the different ones. All right. So that's what's going to happen. So these are all my sources. I want to name my notebook. So right now it's called Untitled Notebook, but I want to call it, I'm going to call it Productivity Tools. Productivity Tools. All right, and enter to save it. Now, let's say I want to get some information from all of these sources. I'm going to check all of them, and I'm going to interact with them. Remember, we talked about view chat, so I can start typing. So click on view chat, and I can start typing and ask different questions. So let's say I want, give me a list of the top 5 productivity tools. It's going to be getting the list from the ones that were discussed in these particular sources. So it's looking through that information. So it gave me, here are 5 of the top productivity tools discussed in the sources. So ClickUp. So it's telling me all about ClickUp. And remember, this is letting you know where it got it. These are your citations. So you can click and see directly where it got the information from. So you see it highlights where it got the particular information from and so on. Now this is a note. Remember, you have your notebook and you have a note. So I can save this note. So remember, you have your source is here on the left. I have my notebook, which is called Productivity Tools. And in my notebook, I have just made a note. And this particular note is all about what? What was this note about? What did I ask it? It was a note about the top 5 productivity tools. So you want to name your note so that you are aware of what you are, let me see, what you are talking about. So let me try to name this. Let's see if it will allow me to name it, or it's not allowing me to name it now, but go through and you're usually able to name your notes, and it's telling you the citations that are listed with this particular note. So let's ask it some other questions. So what else do we want to ask it? Give us a summary. Give me a summary of all the sources. Remember, we did that with the other one. It's going to give me a summary, and it's going to create another note. Now, note that note that you can decide if you want to save your note or not. Not all notes you may want to save. So see, it gives you the option to, you can copy the note, you can let them know if it was a good response or a bad response, and you can save the note. So this is giving us a summary of all the key concepts, and it talks about productivity tools, and the sources emphasize all of this. So you can decide whether you want to save a note or not. Now, if you wanted the info from the note, you can simply, as it says here, you can copy and you can open, if you want to open a Google Doc or whatever. So I'm going to be using my Google Chrome extension to be able to add a new doc. And I will paste here. I can have the note here, and of course I can name it. So this is summary of the productivity tools notebook sources. Anything you want to name it, you can do that, right? What this does is allow us to have an area where all we are concerned with this area is productivity tools. So any other sources for productivity tools, such as any websites, any PDF files, anything to do with productivity tools, you can save it in this particular notebook, and you can save the notes that you have interacted with, whatever questions you want. So here it says, what are the 3 productivity tools apps that authors recommend for managing email? So they have some preset questions that they've asked, and if some of them make sense to you, you can put them in. So let's drop that one in and see what results it gives us. Remember, you don't have to save the note, but if it's something that you think is good, you can have it. So here it says 3 productivity apps for managing email. So you have Spark, Superhuman, and Shift. So we can save that particular note. So remember, we talked about the note guide. We're soon going to go into that. So with this, I actually have 2 notes. So I can also interact with my notes. So notice that there's an area that allows you to be able to select your notes. Let me uncheck it so that you can see the difference. Now note what's going on right here. These are the recommended questions that they have put for us. But guess what? We can actually interact with the notes themselves. So we can select all of the notes and notice what comes up. We can summarize our notes. We can look for suggested related ideas. We can create a study guide of the notes. So this, I'm not interacting with the citation, with the sources themselves. I can interact with the notes. So let's say I want to summarize these 2 notes that I got. I can click on summarize, and here I am getting another note. So it's not just to ask the sources questions. You can ask questions or interact, I should say, with your notes too. And you can ask questions of your notes, because notice here it says 2 notes. So I can ask about best productivity tool. Sometimes, it doesn't want us to give us the best of something, but let's see. All right. And see what it does there. So remember, it's looking through the notes itself. Remember, I can save this note, and now you see I have 3 notes. All right. So you can interact with the sources as well as your notes. We could create a study guide of the notes. Once you want to stop interacting with the notes, you can deselect them because you notice I've deselected all, or I could just select 1 or 2. But this part that came up allows me to interact with the notes themselves. All right, so I have that part here. Now I know that this is the part that people are waiting for. When you click on, let me deselect it. So here you can click on the notebook, and in the notebook section, you're able to get FAQs from your sources. You can do a study guide of your sources. You can do a briefing doc. And guess what some people do? They create a notebook about a particular niche. Let's say you're interested in all about AI. So in that AI notebook, you have everything concerning AI, all kind of sources that you can get and you put there. And you can update it from time to time and then get a briefing doc. And what the briefing doc does, it goes through all of the sources and gives you a synopsis of what's going on. So that's a good way to keep up to date and interact with your data. You always want to find ways to get information that's meaningful to you. Now, if you want to have another way to interact with your information, it allows you to do what we call an audio summary, a deep dive. So what it does, it looks through all of your sources that you have checked, either all of them or if you've just checked a particular one, and it generates a podcast style. As simple as that, I just click the button. That's it. It generates a podcast style audio of all of your sources. So you can listen to the information in a different way, a more meaningful way. You can listen to it on the go because you're able to download this podcast so that you are able to listen to it anywhere. And it allows you to digest the information in another way instead of having to read through and watch through all that stuff. All right. So Tanita says, that's the favorite part. Yeah, I had to leave this part for last, Tanita. I can't just say, here it is. So this allows you to generate the podcast. Now it says, as you see here, it may take a few minutes to do so. So obviously you have to allow it the time. But of course, for time's sake, I've already generated the podcast. And I'm going to let us have a little listen to see. Michelle says it was worth the wait. Let's have a little listen to see what it's all about, this particular podcast, and get an idea of it. So I'm going to just, all right, so I'm pausing. Let me start from the beginning so that we get an idea of what's going on. So it says there's a 2-person podcast. And let's take a listen. Let's see if I'm just going to look and see if it was finished. No, let's take a listen. So let me know in the chat that you're hearing the podcast by giving me a 1.
You're drowning in to-dos.
Like deadlines are just breathing down your necks.
And there are distractions like around every corner.
Well, you're definitely not alone.
No, not at all.
And luckily, our listeners sent us a ton of information about productivity tools.
Yeah, we're going to dive deep into this stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Got YouTube videos, articles.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah, the whole shebang.
We're going to discover some game-changing techniques and apps to,
help you reclaim your time and sanity.
Exactly.
Some peace of mind. Yeah.
It's really fascinating to see just the range of approaches in this material.
Yeah.
From like really high tech to some surprisingly low tech methods.
I know, that's what really caught my eye too.
Yeah.
In their YouTube videos, both Ali Abdaal and Angel Zhang seem to be big fans of pen and paper.
Yeah.
Especially this thing called morning pages.
Right.
What's the deal with that?
So it's actually a concept from Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way. And basically you start your day by writing 3 pages, longhand, of whatever is flowing through your mind.
Oh, wow.
It's like pure stream of consciousness.
Okay.
No editing, no judgment.
So just like a brain dump.
Yeah.
Before the day really gets going.
Totally.
Okay.
Just getting it all out.
I can see how that might be really helpful for feeling overwhelmed.
Absolutely.
Which, we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
But is a notebook really that powerful, like in our digital world?
You know, it might seem counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but there's actually a lot of research backing this up.
Okay.
Morning pages can really help to just clear out mental clutter,
Okay.
reduce that digital fatigue we all feel,
That's so true.
and even spark creativity.
Wow.
It's really about getting those paper
Mhm.
so you can free up mental space.
So I see a lot of wows and, mind blowing and, all those different things. And isn't this a better way to learn a particular topic? So let's say there's a topic that you're interested in and you want to interact with this material. This is a great way to just put all your sources into NotebookLM and generate your podcast and just listen to it. It's an intriguing way. As Michelle is saying, I love how natural the language is, where they say and talk over one another at points and have a true conversation. So it helps you to digest the material in a fun way instead of just reading through hundreds of pages. Picture that you have a PDF file with hundreds of pages and you could just generate a podcast style audio of that PDF content and digest it that way. Wouldn't you want that? Yes? Give me a yes. Yes, of course. You wouldn't want to just have to read through all of that material. It's great to be able to just focus on listening and, of course, listening on the go. So, as you see here, it's still generating because it takes time. But once it's done, you have your podcast that you can download and such and listen to. So, I see a lot of people saying, great, listen on the go is a big plus. Yes, because we're always moving, multitasking. If you're in the kitchen cooking, you can listen. You're doing a walk, a run, you're doing your commute, you can listen. Always good. Learning on the go, basically. Yes, yes. So that's why I listen to audiobooks instead of reading. Yes, but some people like, to be having the pages turning, but you do what you have to do to fit what your life is like. So I uploaded a 20,000, let me see that, Michelle, you uploaded a 20,000 word book and it just took under 5 minutes to generate a 15-minute guide. Wow! Like 200,000 words. Did you hear that? 200,000. So can you choose the voice? Unfortunately, you're not able to choose the voice of the podcast. But recently, what they introduced, I'm not sure if it will allow me to see that here, but they have allowed you to actually customize. There's a customized section that allows you to choose or guide the conversation. So let's say you want the focus of the podcast to, in this case, to be on a particular productivity tools or set of tools. Because remember, it's looking through all of this. This one has 25, this one has 10. This person said they tried 137 tools. I tried 100. And, so they have a variety of number of tools. But if you have an idea of some of the content, you can specify which one you want it. Yes, yes, 20,000 words. Yes. You can specify where you want the focus to be. So if you want the focus to be on a particular tool or whatever the content is, you're able to do that. So you see here, they have generated the podcast. So let me play.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I bet a lot of you out there feel like you're constantly bombarded with
Just showing you. So here you have the opportunity to change the playback speed and you can download. And of course, you can delete the audio that's generated. So that's one of the main things that they have here that a lot of people love about this particular notebook. LM is the audio summary. Who doesn't like to listen? A lot of people don't like to read or have the time to read. So being able to do the audio overview is something that most people love about this particular tool. So remember I told you that this was not to just tell you every single thing about NotebookLM. This is to whet your appetite for those who it's new to, for you to be able to explore and see the different niches that you can have notebooks for. I've seen where people load transcripts from meetings with different clients and interact with the transcript that way. Ask it questions. For example, you can ask what the pain points of the clients are based on the discussion that you had in the meeting, varying things you can ask of the content that you post as well. Of course, you could generate a podcast describing what went on in the meeting. Different ways you can use NotebookLM. It's all about your creativity and what you do to get the most out of it. All right. So Anna Marie, looking forward to using it. Not sure for what, but Yes, you will. So many things, Anna Marie. And there is another website that I'm going to share with you before we go. Drop that in the link for me, Deidre. And it's called PDF Drive. And it has a lot of PDF files on varying topics. Just to show you that, remember, you can upload PDF files too. So let's say you uploaded a variety of PDF files about lifestyle. Here's a lifestyle category. So it says the complete yoga poses, handful of medicinal herbs, all these different things. You can have a notebook that has PDFs all about health and ask it questions or get ideas about certain things based on the content in those files. So, as I said, it allows you to be able to be organized with things that interest you, whether it be business related or health related, lifestyle related, personally related, and you can interact with that content in a more meaningful way, especially with the audio summary that is available. So play around with it, have fun with it, and use it while it's still free, right? We don't know if it's going to go anywhere, so utilize it as much as it can. All right, so Tanita is sharing with us. All right, I'll play yours.
All right, so today we're doing a deep dive on someone who, honestly, just looking at her bio, is way more
Love
than
it.
just your typical finance expert. I mean, Tanita Abraham, finance, AI, media. This woman's got range.
Yeah, no kidding.
So Tanita has been extra and has Tanita, you are so extra. She added these avatars with it as well. Awesome job, Tanita. I love it. I love it. So you see that you can use your creativity to enhance what's being produced with it. I was wondering how you just took it like that, Tanita. I'm saying she just took it that and she's extra. I love it. You went above and beyond and just made this content fully yours by adding this nice touch of the animation, the what do you call this avatars to it. So the great job, great job. So fool around with it. We saw how Tanita played with it and did her video and added this. It says let AI rewrite my story, and it was a game changer. All right, so great job. And others, please play with it. You can't break it. It's a quite simple tool to use. So explore and see what else you can do with your creativity. So thank you guys for joining me for the Learning Tube Live. Remember, the replay will be posted in the Facebook group, sent via email, and posted to our YouTube channel. I hope you found this session valuable and have a great rest of the day. Bye, guys.